formidable robot.
I was always a fangirl for creepypastas. Everything horror was always my thing, and I'd always be up in the middle of the night just reading these fictitious stories on the world's widest web. I was more specifically interested in gaming pastas. The idea of seeing a game you might have played over and over again in a different, scarier way has always intrigued and interested me. One pasta that caught my eye was one for one of my favorite games, Rec Room. Yep, that social hangout game you might have seen ads for. Yeah, that has a creepypasta. Everything does at this point. The one I'm leading you onto is probably the most well-known, considering it's been basically canonized and bastardized by whoever's running this stuff over there. It's the Forbidden One. Ugh, saying that reminds me of that Spyro meme. If you don't know, in old versions of Rec Room, when you launched the game, you'd be placed in a dark, empty stage room with a singular light and a login screen blinking you in the face. This room is referred to in the game files as registration, with a caret. Nowadays, the login is brighter and cheerier, with this sign skybox around you and grass under your feet, which is a severe deviation from what was originally there. Is that Fruitiger arrow? Remember, this is a VR game, so being able to just stand in a massive dark room by yourself, whether intentional or not, is very scary on its own. Now this is where the spooky stuff comes in, because apparently, some people have reported seeing a spooky pitch black figure inside of the darkness of registration, close to the login screen. Jesus, spelling spooky with zeros in a creepypasta just made me cringe the fuck out a bit. Yeah, black figures. Definitely haven't heard that before. These guys then start making all these theories about what the figure is, or why it's there. Some people say it's a placeholder that wasn't cut, or that some ghost is haunting the game. Me personally, it just looks like a glitch in the shading of the light to me, but it's still an interesting topic. Until Rec Room got their hands on it. Yeah, the creepypasta basically died when Rec Room thought it would be cool to actually incorporate the Forbidden One in an event, and it probably would have, if the event was actually good. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. And now the Forbidden One is just some weird supervillain guy with a purple bucket on his head. What a way to ruin a potential legend, your own legend at that. Well, before the legend got ruined by that event, I was a little curious in the pasta. I knew I'd never be able to investigate it myself, since registration was long gone, but that didn't stop me from checking out some videos about it. Scrolled around, listening to story after story, and then I came across a video that claimed that registration is actually still in the game, and not only that, but you can still get into it. The video described that by using a maker pen in your dorm room to spawn a door, then writing the door's destination to registration, you will be able to press on the door and just walk straight in. Obviously I thought this was fake, and just used some old footage or some recreation of the room, but I didn't knock it yet. Slapped on my headset and went in the game, got the pen, and slammed a door down in the middle of the room. I opened the door's properties, clicking in the name on that weird virtual keyboard expecting a fat red error to appear when I press enter, but to my surprise, it actually worked. Looked up at the door tag, boom, registration, written down clear as day. This isn't actually going to work, is it? Reached for the door, held trigger, loading, boom. We're there, dude. How did this work? No idea. I guess they just didn't notice. You know what's crazier? This still works. Yeah, it still works. Load up Rec Room and do the exact same thing I did, and you too can go into the spooky darkness room. Anyways, I'm in the room now. And of course, nothing else is there besides me. I run directly towards where Forbidden One is supposed to be in all the screenshots, and I found nothing at all. Schemed the whole room to see. Nothing. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. I leave back to my dorm room and just cram the door in the top of my room. Didn't touch it though, I thought it was kind of cool to just have it there. Eventually I stopped playing Rec Room after losing interest. That would be the end of this story. If it wasn't for me making the choice to come back after a while. A bit ago, the thought of the game came back in my head, and I thought it was high time to get back into it. So I got out my headset, went to my computer, updated the game, and went to hop back in. At first it seemed normal. launched the game, brought me to the login, and I put in my stuff and started loading in. And the second I loaded in, the game just flickered from my dorm room to a black screen really quickly for 1 second before crashing. My computer is now just a black screen, but it was slowly flickering on and off like it was trying to load a full screen window but continuously failing and cutting off. Pressing the Windows key did jack, so I just had to turn off my computer and turn it back on. I have a program that always records all my gameplay in the background, for when I want to make clips, and I wondered if it caught whatever just happened. So I open my files and check the folder the recordings go to, and yeah, I see a 1 minute 28 second recording of what just happened. I speed up to when the crash happened, and I pause it at just the right time to see my dorm. And there it is. First of all, elephant in the room, there is a T-posing player model in the middle of the room. This guy has the default Rec Room shirt, no hair, no ears, no face, and a nose. Now I'm pretty sure I'd remember if I put this weird bald freak in here before I decided to abandon the game, so that on its own is pretty weird. And secondly, there is the door of registration ripped off of the wall and just face down on the floor, as if this guy just busted in like he's the Kool-Aid man or something. I of course found this weird. But I didn't call Ghost yet. I still did want to play the game, but now I'm curious if I can even run it right now. I boot up the game, this time in screen mode, and it just got weirder. It got stuck on the login screen, but not even on the actual login screen. It just played the first 3 to 5 notes of the menu music before resetting and looping over and over again. Couldn't press Windows, had to turn it off again. God damn it. Okay, this is obviously not working. I get my computer back up and just go on Steam to go in Rec Room's properties and verify the game cache. Maybe this will work. I then proceed to try, and fail, at loading the game in flat screen mode 3 separate times. So I decide to see if the game will load on my headset, so I put it on and try to load in normal VR mode instead. And for some reason, this actually works. Not. I was able to get into my dorm room, but there were very large lag spikes every 7 seconds or so. I look up at the registration door, and it's just normal. I decide to start exploring to see if anything else weird is happening. I open my watch and start teleporting around to different places in private servers and eventually end up in park. I follow the trail for a bit, then deviate off the track and go towards the big stage on the left of the map. I take a quick look around on the way and then I see it. Far in the distance, where the basketball court is, I see a guy, standing right there, staring at me. This guy is a little stalker. I turn around and book it towards the stage, opening my watch menu to teleport away, but the game crashes. Great. I have a ghost stalking me. Well, I'm not pissing off yet. I'm going to figure out what the hell this thing is. I get back in the game and go back to park, sprinting towards the basketball court. What a surprise, nothing is there. But the audio of the game now is crunchy. It sounded like it was put inside a deep fryer. My hands are shaking. Not my real hands, my virtual hands are just vibrating side to side, and my controllers start rumbling to match. What the hell is going on? I decide to try to join a public room, but it's not letting me go in any publics. I can only join my own private servers. And then I notice that I also have like 9 million messages in my friends tab for some reason. I press on it and there is no one on the list, except for one person with a blank profile picture. Marty. Who the fuck is Marty? I press on it. It's just a bunch of random numbers, letters and characters that make absolutely no sense. I've put them into every translator or anything I could possibly think of, and I've got nothing. If anyone can do anything with this, please let me know. After taking a quick screenshot of the message, I close my watch menu. Enter key abuse. And then, a basketball rolls into my view from behind me. More enter key abuse. Fuck that. I immediately rip my headset off my face and hit Alt F4. The last thing that I see on my screen is that bald fucker with his back turned, floating inside of a completely empty void, before it blinks back to my desktop. I went in my files to get the screenshot that I took, looking at the weird array of incomprehensible text. Like I said earlier, I tried putting them in anything I could think of, but I got nothing back at all. Then I realized that I wasn't looking close enough. Ignoring the wall of text, I turn over to the name on the list. Under the name is a room name. And guess what it says? Registration. I launched the game in flat screen mode, which actually worked this time. I don't know why. Loaded into my dorm room, and shot the shit out of that door with the maker pen, wiping it off the face of the earth. It's gone. The lag stopped. It's over. It usually takes a lot to really spook me. This shivers crawling down my entire fucking skeleton. I never thought in my life that I'd be randomly exposed to whatever the hell that was and become some sort of creepypasta protagonist. Well, after closing that guy's way in, I had absolutely no idea what to do now, so all I did was quit the game, stand up, turn off my computer, and go to bed. So much unnecessary enter key abuse. Woke up the next day, got back on, and now there's nothing there. I'm pretty sure it's gone. And nothing weird like that has ever happened to me since. It's been a month since that happened, and I've kept playing Rec Room. Never saw that guy again. Maybe that room is actually haunted by something, maybe it's a troll from the developers, but that's very unlikely. Me personally, I believe that the shadow figure people saw in there was not the forbidden one. That figure was what I saw that day. That bald faceless bastard. Even if it was scary, I can still look back at what happened and chuckle slightly. Me and my friends turned this thing into a little joke in recent too. But I don't think I'll ever knock off the dread I felt that day. If you feel like studying this yourself, go ahead. Or don't. I don't really care. Just be careful, I don't know if that thing can do worse. But no matter what, if anyone mentions or brings up registration, I'm not going to think of the forbidden one. All I'm gonna think of is that shiny-headed stalker.